welcome to the Real Bulking Podcast, where we're here to get gains and get repped. My name is Tim, and this is my brother Jeff.
This is recording,
And we are here because you are here. Because we are here because you're here to get repped.
Do you even lift, bro?
Do you even bench, bro? Like, if you are at the gym and there's a hottie, like, walking by and you don't put another 80 pounds on the bar, like, you're not doing it right.
Why are you even here?
If you're not kipping every single pull-up to just see how many, like, third of a pull-ups you can do, you even CrossFit, bro?
CrossFit? You CrossFit, bro?
I love CrossFit. I love training ridiculous things that have no use in real life because I can tell people that I CrossFit. It's the best. It's my favorite thing ever. Terrible form that doesn't actually apply to anything in real life is such a great thing to do. I was watching these hilarious videos where they just mock the CrossFit games every year, and it is really funny. It's not very nice, but it's really funny. No. You're thinking of something. Say something.
I know people who do CrossFit and they love it to death. So
and you know what they always tell you about? It's CrossFit. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it must be something to it, you know.
It's like veganism. It's like because veganism is. By the way, did you know that I'm vegan? Like, and you know why I'm vegan? Because, you know, and then 35 minutes later, it's like, and that's why whales have souls. And if you hurt animals, you're worse than Hitler.
But you could even make that argument. That's what Christians do.
Yeah, but
that's why you need Jesus, because.
Well, I think that we all want to share, like, CrossFit is such a community thing, and it's such it's the same thing about being in the military or like it's one of those things where we belong. Like I belong to this group, but it's really stupid. Like people who actually like work out a lot and who work out and train, like they pretty universally say that CrossFit's really stupid because it is. If you've ever seen the CrossFit competitions,
I've seen it,
and they're like kipping, they're like,
oh yeah, I mean, but
like that's not real.
I get that, like with the pull-ups and stuff. I mean, the rest of the stuff they doing, I mean, like
some of it is impressive. Some of it, if you watch the cameraman's running faster than the person who's running, and you're like, eh. But it's there's a lot of things like that in the world that you're like. I will say, I mean, they do train, and I give them credit. Something we should look up, and I should do a reaction for that I want to train for. I shouldn't even say this.
You're saying it, and it's recorded.
So there's this thing called the Mighty Murph.
Oh yeah. Murph is from CrossFit. Yeah.
Well, he was a Navy SEAL.
Right.
But it's this thing called the Murph.
Yeah.
And it is. I gotta look it up now because I want to train for it. I got a guy at work who wants to train with me. This is gonna sound crazy. Okay. No. Why is my phone being dumb? Sorry.
I don't know. I still love you.
The Mighty Murph. Okay, hold on. My phone's thinking. Sometimes my phone is slow, and I don't know why it is.
My phone now has 5G.
That's awesome. I'm not nearly as cool. Here we go. The Murph challenge.
Tell me what this is.
Come on. No, I just want you to tell me what it is. The workout. Here we go.
You can have my heart.
All right.
You can have my heart.
No, it's not coming up. I love it.
You can have my heart. You can have my heart.
I love that I can't spell, but my phone does. All right, here we go.
Amen, right?
So here's what it is.
All right.
No.
Just send you back to the same one.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
So here's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a 1 mile run.
Yep.
100 pull-ups.
Oh my goodness.
200 push-ups, 300 squats, and then a mile run, and it's in a 20-pound vest.
Yeah.
And you have to do it, I believe, in under like 2 hours or something like that.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, you train for 6 months to a year to be able to do it. I want to do it.
That's monster.
Yeah, dude.
That's monster.
I've done parts of it at Basic. At Basic, they had us do part of it. And they actually made it worse because they made us do bear crawls.
Yeah.
Bear crawls?
Yeah.
They made us do a mile of bear crawls.
No.
your hands were just like.
I remember 7th grade we did bear crawls in football, and I was like, "What is this? I hate this with a passion."
Yep. So we did. Actually, I think we might have done it. We didn't have the vest on, but we did. I think we did it because I remember. This is not. Are we recording?
Yes.
Dang it. Okay,
no, come on.
Okay, so I was basic training when I was like 32, and I remember the one day. So they take you out in the morning. You start at like 5:15, 5:30.
Yeah.
And you have to work out in the morning because it's too freaking hot.
Makes sense.
So we go out to the track, and the track is a quarter mile. And inside the track, there's this giant square that's full of pea gravel. They just call it the pit. And that's where you do all your combatives. You can throw somebody, and you won't break them like on concrete.
Sure.
So we did some crazy stuff in there. Anyways, so they take us out, and our drill sergeant was pissed because they would do this thing called they call them 60-30s. So you would sprint for 30 seconds all out, and then you get to walk for a minute, and then you sprint for 30 seconds. And I mean, you do this for 20, 30 minutes depending on what and then that's on top of everything else. So then, but they knew a lot of people wouldn't actually sprint. You know, they were just half-assing it, and they do not like that. Sure. So they did a troop run. So a troop run is where you get 4 abreast. So you line up 4 people wide, and then you're in columns. And they put a drill sergeant at the front and a drill sergeant at the back. And they would do it. So they'd blow the whistle, and you had to match the pace of your drill sergeant. So and some of them are pretty fast.
Sure.
Okay, and most of them are in very good shape. And so you're running, and the thing was, you all had to be between the first guy and the last guy. If anyone fell behind, you would not get a rest. They would smoke you. So for those of you who are not in the military, getting smoked is where they force you to exercise. Yeah. And it sucks. You know, it's push-ups, sit-ups, squats. It's just rough. But anyways, so if the last person fell behind your drill sergeant at the end, you wouldn't get a rest. So you'd have a period of a minute to rest, and instead you're doing squats. They go, 15 squats. So you're doing air squats, and you can't breathe because you've just been sprinting.
Right.
And so you're like, and then it's 20 push-ups, and you're down, and and then it's 10 sit-ups, and then it's 10 burpees, and then it's like, all right, we're running, and then you take off running again. So you're just getting more tired. Oh my goodness, bro. And it's not based on I was in the front. I was like 3 from the front, and I was like, I'm keeping up. I'm not falling behind.
Right.
And those sucked. Those were rough. Yeah, those were rough. We actually did the Murph where I believe it was 100, 100. No, it was 100, 200, and it might have been 100, 200, 300. I think it was because I was ridiculously good at pull-ups. I always have been. Yeah. And it's just I climbed a lot, and that's how my body's built. I have very large shoulders and back, so that's easy for me. But most people pull-ups suck. So I was like, I could do 10 pull-ups at a time. Yeah. Most people, most people can't do a pull-up. I did this morning. I'd have to look at my workout log. I did either 14 or 15 pull-ups with a 25-pound weight on. Straight. It was awesome. I've never been that high. My goal is to get to 20 weighted because then I'll be able to crush 20 when I'm not weighted. Of course, easy. But actually, I was doing pull-ups, which is not the same as chin-up. Yeah. Which is different. So pull-ups of this, I was technically doing chin-ups because those work your biceps more. And but weighted chin-ups suck, but they're awesome. I love them so much. So in my bicep and tricep workout, you go to failure with 25 pounds on, and then you drop the 25 pounds, and you do concentration ones, which means you only go to 90 degrees. So you're basically going like this and going, and then going like this, and then going, so it just keeps your whole muscle under tension. They suck. They're awesome for your arms, but they suck so bad. You're just like, you're just like doing this because your arms are jelly. It's so much fun. Sorry.
I think Tim just said that so he could flex his guns a little bit on camera. I do pull-ups and chin-ups, and they work.
I've been working on my arms. I've been doing
hey, you look good, man. Keep it up.
I'm working at it.
Keep it up.
I'm working at it. It's good for me. Yeah. It's good for me to be in the gym.
Hey.
Like really healthy for my brain.
No, I bet.
Go until failure, man. That's the goal. Go to failure. Don't 30-second workout tip. 3 sets of 10. Stop. Never do 3 sets of 10. Ever.
No.
Never. Ever.
Okay.
10 to 12. It depends on what you're going for, but
sure.
Go to failure. If you can crank off 3 sets of 10, you're like, that was fine. Like, no.
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
Up your weight. If you're cranking 3 sets of 10 and you're easy, like up your weight.
Because what if it's still like difficult when she gets to the 24?
It should always be 10 to 12, 8 to 10, because your goal is to go to failure. Your goal is to because I'm trying to remember what the term is. It's basically you don't actually do a rep until you start straining.
Pretty much, right.
You don't. Got it, so if you're cranking off 10 and you're not even feeling it,
right.
And the other thing is, it depends on what you're training for, but concentration is really important. So, like for instance, if I really want to work my bicep, okay, I'm not going to do this and then bring my elbow up to here.
Right.
Because I'm not actually working my bicep.
Right.
I'm going to work my bicep from here to here.
Right.
Because I physically can't move my bicep more than that.
Right.
The other thing to think about is your muscles can't push; they can only pull. So your muscles physically cannot push. Okay, they can't.
Sure.
So for instance, your arm. Show the camera. Okay. If I want to move my arm this way, my bicep contracts and it pulls. If I want to move my arm the other way, my tricep contracts and it pulls.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. You're not actually pushing anything.
Your muscles cannot push. All they can do is retract. And so you have to do exercises that are going to do that.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
So that's why you have to train specific muscle groups. So this is why a lot of training regimens are, okay, you're going to do a push-pull split, which means one day it's all pulling. So pulling would be biceps. It would be back. It would be pull-ups, which is your shoulders and lats and backs and all that type of stuff. Then you would have a push workout, which is triceps. So I am pushing against it. I'm bench pressing.
Yeah.
Split those out. That's one way to train.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do.
Yeah. So that's one way to train. You can do ISO workouts, which, okay, I'm going to work arms, I'm going to work legs, I'm going to work full body, I'm going to do that type of stuff. But, it's fun.
Okay. I mean, we do 3 sets of 10.
Yep.
And it works, it's effective, but I like what you said, going to failure. I think that it's going to be more effective.
Well, and you got to figure out what you want to do. The science is behind, if you want to train safely, it's lower weight, higher reps.
Right.
Because you're less likely to pull something.
Yeah.
So if you stay in the 10 to 12 range or the 12 to 15 range, that's safer than going, well, my 1 rep max is 400 pounds on the deadlift. Like, no.
Right.
It's actually much better for you to drop weight. And there's different styles of working out. Like, you can do like a superset. So superset is where you go right from. So superset is 3. Drop set is where you go from one exercise to the next with no rest.
Sure.
So I do a drop set on the pull-ups.
Yeah.
So boom, 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 and then I drop the weight, and then I just go right into it. So I'm already tired. I'm not giving my body a chance to rest. I'm really trying to exhaust that muscle because the more you can exhaust the muscle, the more it builds back. Because that's how you have to break the muscle down to build it back.
Right.
Where like when I do, today was arm day, so I have a tricep dips. You know what tricep dips are? Okay, so you're on the tricep dip machine, and I do 25 pounds, and I do as many of them as I can do. I drop the weight, I do as many of them as I can do, and then I use the assist and do many of them as I can do. So you're just toast.
All right, you're just done.
My arms were like this big when I got home, and I wasn't flexing, and they were just like just so full of blood and hot. They're hot. Like I would take a cold shower.
Warm.
It's like, oh my gosh, like which I'm not used to in my arms. I'm used to that in my forearms because when you rock climb, that happens all the time. You lock up. You get to a point where your hands won't grip anymore.
I believe it.
Which is so much fun.
That don't sound fun at all.
It literally is the best feeling ever. It's called getting pumped. You're like, your veins are like.
That feeling, but not feeling like I can grip something.
Oh, I've had it where you're fully engaged on a rock and you've got a really good hold, and your hand just goes boop, because it's just done. The muscle can't hold anymore. It's like your abs. You just get to a point where you're like, nope.
Dang.
Nope, you're not going to hold that plank for 1 second more.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
All right, I'm with you. All right. Yeah, we do family workouts, and we do it, and it's fun, but
it's awesome.
I think just do it to failure.
Well, and that's the thing is doing the right exercise and doing the right exercise to failure is so much better for you than 3 sets of 10. Because a lot of times, we don't have the right exercise. We don't know what we're training or why we're training it. We're just doing something to do it. And it's like, okay, I want to work on my arm strength. I want to work on my, like, some people, their triceps might be really weak. Yeah. I have always had gargantuan triceps because of rock climbing, because you do a lot of this, and that is a tricep mainly movement. So you're pulling back this way. That's a lot of triceps because, again, you know, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I've always had big triceps. Always have.
Hey.
Not big biceps. Not very much.
But I feel like your biceps would be more stronger than rock climbing. You're like pulling yourself up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but if you think about a bicep curl, bicep curl is this movement.
Right.
This is not that necessarily movement.
That's more back.
It's much more back.
Right.
So you're using them, but
Sure.
you're not engaging them nearly as much.
Right.
Because it's much more that lifting movement.
Yeah, I got what you're saying.
It's more back and lats and you know, all that fun stuff.
All right.
But yeah, I love rock climbing so much. I miss it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do it for a while, which is fine. I'm in the gym. It's a lot cheaper than rock climbing.
So I bet it's probably a lot cheaper.
$70 a month
cheaper. Good rocks to climb in Minnesota?
There's some.
Yeah.
But I don't do any outdoor climbing.
Sure.
Because I don't have the equipment, and outdoor climbing is very different than indoor climbing. It's just a totally different idea, and it's so. I mean, you got to drive 3 hours.
Yeah.
To climb and it's very weather dependent.
Sure, so right. Yeah, if it's raining, you don't really want to rock climb.
There's 2 climbers who just died last weekend.
Oh man.
One of them was from Savage.
Word? Damn.
Yeah. Yep. My boss was. I showed up and he was like, "I'm glad to see you showed up." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "Yeah, I saw a rock climber from Savage died climbing her out."
Dang.
Happens all the time. I mean,
really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Your equipment can fail.
Yeah.
Okay. We are so off. So you can have multiple problems. So you can screw up. Okay. I can go for a hold. It doesn't work.
Sure.
I can, especially if you are. So the 2 basic types of outdoor climbing are you've got top rope, which means you have a rope that goes from you up to the top of whatever you're climbing, and then back down to another climber. So then I'm belaying them. So I'm physically connected. I've got a pulley at the top, and so if they fall, I can just go, and they can't go anywhere.
Right.
That's probably the safest way to climb. A lot of routes are way too long for that. You don't have a long enough rope.
Right.
So then in which case you have what's called lead climbing. So lead climbing is there's actually clips in the rock, so you clip in as you go. And they're 10, 15 feet apart. Then I can go with that climber, and I can climb up behind them, and we can use our weight to balance. That's called sport climbing. Lead climbing is where I'm on the ground, and they're clipping in as they go. And then, but the problem with that is, let's say you clip in here, and you climb another 10 feet, and you fall. Because that's your last hold point.
Right.
Well, if you fall off a wall, and you drop 20 feet, and you swing hard,
you're going to hit that wall pretty good.
You can, and if you're not wearing a helmet.
Wile E. Coyote style.
Climbing is very dangerous. Yeah. It can hurt you. It's very fun, but it is not. It can kill you very easily.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah.
You hit your head. So that, you have, the ropes are really good, but you always check your equipment. Let's say your harness tears. Let's say one of those, some of those routes, especially if you're setting your own route, which means you have these things, I believe they're called grommets, which you stick them into a crack, and the more you pull on them, the more they expand. So they basically, the pressure makes them hold. Well, that can slip.
Yeah.
The best routes are ones where they're actually physically drilled into the wall.
Yeah.
And then those are real solid, but even those can possibly come out. So, you know, or if you're free climbing, which that's a totally different. You ever watched Free Solo, the movie?
I know. I've seen it a million places. I need to watch it. I've heard people say it's great stuff.
It physically makes me unwell. Like, because I'm a climber.
Yeah.
Watching him do that is so scary. Because it's
all right, I get it. Okay, I need to watch this now. You over here doing this. Okay.
We can watch it together.
I've seen it on Netflix and Hulu and all kinds of stuff. I just never.
It's so, and you got to understand that he is he's a superhuman.
Yeah.
Like, he's insane.
Yeah.
Nobody does what he does.
Oh, okay.
Like, he is the Michael Phelps of his sport. Like, he's just a superhuman freak.
Yeah.
And he is super talented.
Yeah.
And every single person that's come before him that's done free soloing is dead.
Damn.
Every single person. Like, literally. Because you are... operating without a net doesn't even begin.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just so.
You see those videos of those guys who like climbing skyscrapers and they're like balancing on their legs and stuff like that? That's the stuff that like.
That's safer than what he's doing.
That's crazy to me. Okay, now I have to watch this.
That's way safer because that like. That is a acceptable risk. What he is doing is climbing some of the most difficult routes known to man without a harness and a rope on.
That's crazy.
It is, and he is so. Okay, 10 more seconds, and we really have to get going on this. Okay?
I don't believe you, but keep going.
So he cannot ever make a jerky movement ever.
Yeah.
So every single movement has to be calculated. He has to have perfect patience and do this.
Yeah.
Because if he shifts his weight too fast, he can fall.
Right.
So there is no such thing as grabbing a ledge and saving yourself.
Right.
Everything is calculated. It's almost like yoga, where you're like, everything is so incredible.
That's crazy.
It is. It's literally, if you move fast, you will die. So he has mastered the art of moving and just being comfortable. And he's also a superhuman because he's just like, I'm going to go climb a 3,000 foot, half dome today, which... 30 years ago, nobody ever climbed it. Nobody climbed it with ropes, let alone without ropes.
Right.
Like, the first people who ascended it, they have it in the documentary. The first people who did it, I think it took them like 4 days. And he did it in like 3.5 hours with no ropes. Guy's just a superhuman freak. He's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Him and... I'll show you some other cool stuff. Anyways.
Hey, this is good combo.
It's a great documentary. It's terrifying.
I've seen it. I've heard people talk about it. I've seen it like on Disney Plus, seen it on Hulu.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, one day I'll watch it. So now that you said that, I will watch it.
It's really good.
Yeah. I always respect people who are just like at the top of their game and whatever they
100%.
do. Like I always admire that. So
I agree. Even if I can't, and obviously I love to rock climb, so I appreciate it more. But like someone who's dedicated, my kids and I were watching this today. We were watching, I think it was called Speed Cubers. It's about the international Rubik's Cube.
Yeah. Yep. We watched that. Yep. And those two guys are going against each other.
Yep.
We watched it. Yeah. Yep.
It's so like I have never done that. I have no desire to become a speed cuber, but like I have an immense amount of respect.
It's crazy. Well, I've never done a Rubik's Cube, period. Like, my boys, on command, they can get one side done, do orange, and they'll do it. And I'm like, how can you get to... Yeah.
I can always get...
Oh, man, it's crazy.
I can get 4... No. I can get 3... I can get 4 completely done, but I always get stuck because I don't know the algorithm.
That's my thing. I'm like, because we watched it, and so I bought them a cube because, we watched it. So... They can get a side done on command, and it's really cool. And I'm like, okay. But like, how do you do the rest?
My problem is I never got a 3x3. I always had a 4x4, and that's way harder.
Why did you have a 4x4?
That's the one my parents got me, or I bought it on sale at like Goodwill or something. So the reason why a 3x3 is easier...
I know.
Well, a 3x3 has designated sides.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Where a 4x4... It doesn't.
Right.
And so it's... And I could get 4 out of 6 on a 4x4.
That's crazy.
We should get one. I should see how long it would take me. I had a cousin who could do one in under 5 minutes.
A 4x4?
Yeah, 3x3.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm highly impressed by it. Like it's just, and like they're math. Like, it is. That's what it really comes down to.
It's the algorithm of okay, this needs to go here. So if I do this movement, this will go there.
But it's like for me, it's like yes, but you still have to get the rest of the sides to.
Oh yeah,
to work that out at the same time, and it's just like,
and you have to understand. Okay, it's over here, and I need to go over there.
Right.
So I got to go and not mess up everything else.
And that's my thing. I would mess up everything else, and then be like, get back, go back to where it was, and I would be so pissed.
And then and then you have those awful people who just took the stickers off. And people are bad.
I don't respect that at all. Look.
I thought that.
Just be horrible at it. Or be good at it.
I'm fine with that.
Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's. I'm amazed by it. I am truly amazed. We watched that too. I thought it was. I'm like, you did that. You did a Rubik's Cube in 6 seconds? Yeah. Did you? What?
That's madness.
What?
That's And I'm like, they probably can't tie their shoes. Like, they must be really bad at something else.
it's typically it's the social skills, right?
Yeah, it's like.
But then again, they have a whole community of people, so it may
true.
not be that anymore, right?
Weird See, that's one of the cool things about the
internet.
You
gotta find your niche.
Find your weird people.
Find us. Find us.
People. Find us. Find your weird Christian guys who talk about working out and speed Rubik's Cubes in the same conversation.
Yes. You're not going to hear that everywhere.
This is not going to air.
This is going to be... This is that place, right?
Where we're your weird, cool friends.
We are.
That are really weird and maybe not cool, but we love you anyways.
Yeah. Cool is relative. The guy who's the champion speed cuber, man, people want his autograph. I wouldn't know who he was if I saw him.
Who's Max? Whatever.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, but I'm like, but he's
that's
cool.
Like me,
it's relative.
Like Chris Sharma. Like you would have no idea who that is.
No.
He's one of the greatest climbers.
Yeah.
Ever. I would love to meet him someday.
Yeah.
Dude's.
See.
He's a freak.
Cool is relative.
Well,
so maybe
I'll
cool.
show you King Line sometime. I'll show you the trailer for King Lines. We'll do a reaction to that.
All right.
It is. It's fun.
Some of that stuff be freaking me out, man.
You don't do heights? Not a big heights fan?
No. I love beautiful views, like going to like a skyscraper and seeing it, but then looking down. Oh, Jesus.
I love that he said beautiful views, and then he's like a skyscraper, not like beautiful views like a mountain. Like,
I've never done that. Okay, I take that back. I've been in the mountains in Haiti. And it is beautiful. I got some video.
We're gonna go up north.
Yeah. So I've been in the mountains, but those are the only mountains I've ever been. Ever, so I like one day I want to do that stuff. I've never done it, so yeah. So like heights other than
my
Haiti
happy place is Colorado and Utah. That is like, it's so
beautiful, huh?
Dude, climbed a 14,000 foot peak when I was 16. I want to do it again.
You mean like climb or like?
Yeah, we went to the top.
Dang,
it was awesome. We almost got stuck. I almost took a header down a 1,500 foot ice shelf.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Almost biffed it twice. Almost died of altitude sickness the first night. Didn't know this till many years later. I was telling a buddy of mine who's like a big mountain climber.
Right.
Done a lot and like I didn't know how sick I was, and I told him what happened. He's like, "Dude, you could have died." And I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, like a lot." I was like, "Well, I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't know that at the time."
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It was awesome. One of the coolest trips ever. Sliced a hole in my finger. Anyways, we got to start. Clap.